Well, good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. It's funny that I always seem to be apologising, and I don't mean to apologise, and I'm not really apologising. I'm just saying that I'm sorry that I say I'm going to do something, and then I don't do it. And the only reason I don't do it is because I've been so busy. Just to give you, so I said I was going to do a video when I got down to Frome on Friday, but then that was busy. Saturday we had a night on the road. Friday night all the way up to Edinburgh. We had all the morning waiting around at the festival. Then we played a 25-minute set on a Saturday afternoon. There was a problem with the hotel where there'd been this kind of scam thing. So obviously, being the tour manager as well as playing the music as well, it's down to me to sort all that out. Also, we had a couple of musicians who were out with various viruses that are going around at the moment, so it was a very stressful weekend. So Saturday was the night I was thinking, great, we finished, come off stage at 2:30, we come off stage at 3:30, and get to the hotel, sleep all night, drive out. But that wasn't to be the hotel, so I managed to find, I put on the thing, I managed to find 3 single hotel rooms, but there were 6 of us left on the road at that point, so 3 of us slept in the bus. I say bus, in the van that we're using at the moment. So that was incredible. There was little spots of hope that we might have been able, some people hadn't turned up at the hotel, so we might have been allowed in to go and buy their rooms. And so of course phone died last night. It would have been a perfect time to do a lovely video for you with how I was thinking, sat in the van in the freezing cold, about 90 bottles of Peroni sat around, smoking joints. Not me, but other people. It could have been one of those times where I could have gone, fuck it, I'm just going to have a cigarette, or I'm just going to have a beer, I'm just going to have, but obviously, of course, I don't think like that in my brain, but I do think that in those situations, when I've been in those situations before, so, but it doesn't matter, I'll sleep on the bus, I'll just get pissed, or I'll just sit and get stoned, or just do whatever, get high, it doesn't matter, and then just pass out a bit later, all fine. And then obviously got up today, and then we drove down from Edinburgh down to Newark, and then we did a festival today. That was a great festival, really good, and then we've come straight from there. Well, I've managed to get a lift here, and I'm now at the Holiday Inn Express in Harlow. So that's a little insight into what my weekend's been like. It's been mad, crazy, stressful. And then obviously the bit when it's not stressful is when you're actually on stage, because nothing can go wrong, or if something goes wrong, you can't do anything about it. So that's cool. But anyway, there's been, sorry, I had to get that out of the way. It's good. I see this as my kind of therapy. It's lovely. I've been looking forward to doing this, and sorry it's taken so long. But one of the things is not to apologise, because I would have done it if I've had the time, or my battery hadn't died, I would have done it. So, but there's been a few questions that I said, and someone said, have I ever been so close to a point of a relapse that I just had to get myself out of the situation? And it got me thinking back. It's really strange. In the times before when I stopped drinking, so not the final time that I stopped, but in the times before, I would, but it was weird, because in my brain I always knew that I wasn't going to give up for good, and I knew what I'd do is I'd stop and I would say to myself, right, that's it, I'm never ever going to drink again. And I think I said this once before, but as soon as you say that, you start to feel a bit better, and from that day on you just start to feel a bit better. But you're almost saying those things because generally when someone goes, if someone's got really, really pissed, or let's forget about drugs, but drinking, you get, this is how my system used to happen 4 times a year roughly. I saw someone commented on that, and I would get so pissed. I probably would have offended someone in the pub, or I would, one of the things with drinking is such a selfish thing, because in the morning when you wake up with a hangover, all you're thinking about is, oh God, did I tell someone something? Did I embarrass myself? Did I do this? Oh, did I piss them off? And all your brain is thinking, oh my God, what did I do? Like you're in a pub, and you think that you've pissed someone off, but you've got the audacity to think that that's all they're thinking about is you. And until that moment, until you find out whether or not you have pissed them off, you just go, and so all the time, all you're trying to do is to tick off the things that get the anxiety levels down. So first thing I would do is, one of the things I used to do if I was in the vicinity of the pub that I'd pissed people off, which I generally hadn't, in all fairness, I would go down there first thing in the morning, or go down there at 11 o'clock and go, all right, how are you doing? You know, a good night last night, wasn't it? And then you sort of piece together what had happened. But on those times when it was really bad and you've got palpitations, you feel, I'd go, right, that's it, I can never drink again. And the only way that I can face these people is to tell them, right, that's it, I'm giving up drinking. I'm giving up drinking for good. That's it, I'm done now. And you know, and people would say, oh yeah. I'd go, yeah, oh yeah, you probably should, you know. And as soon as you start saying that, the anxiety goes away. Each bit you tick off, suddenly you speak to the pub on the phone. I just wanted to apologise for last night. And they're like, oh no, you weren't bad at all, Adrian. We just wanted to make sure that you got home all right, you know, because you were pissed when you arrived at 4, and when you left at 1 in the morning, you were pretty hammered. But they said, no, you weren't bad at all. But by this point, I've already told other people that I'm giving up for good and that's it, I'm never drinking again. And you can't go back on your word. And then, so then I would go, right, that's it, I'm not drinking. And I remember going to the doctors and the doctor saying, right, I'm prescribing you this only one time, and it was a reducing dose of Valium so I could stop getting little shakes or going to sleep. Thiamine to replace vitamin B and all that. And I remember it being extremely stressful. And I realised now, even only today when I was thinking about this, when we were in the van driving about it, I was thinking, because I read the question about this, I remember thinking, crikey, I was like, it was extremely stressful, the thought of not drinking again, and I couldn't deal with that. And so I'd get rid of the anxieties of, right, I hadn't pissed them off. I'd phone them up and go, oh, are you all right? Sorry about last night. Or I'd offer someone a gig who, as a musician, all right, I was just phoning up, yeah, it was great to see you yesterday. I wanted to offer you a gig. Did I talk to you about it yesterday? I can't remember. I was a bit pissed. And they go, oh, no, you didn't. And then I might not have even wanted to give that person a gig, but I did just to just to make sure that I hadn't pissed them off. And I remember in those periods of sort of 6 weeks off booze, I would be in places and people getting pissed, and I'd just think, right, I've got to leave now, because otherwise I'm just going to have a drink. Right, I've got to leave. And I was still kidding myself that I'd like, right, that's it, I've given up drinking, but always knew in the back of my mind that I would start again. And I think that's one of the hardest things, is what will it take for someone to realise, no, you can't do it. And I think having the hip replacement was my sort of thing, which doesn't mean that it's any easier, and I've said that before, but then, you always read people have got to hit rock bottom before they can start to then progress. And it's a shame that that's a saying, because you don't want to say to someone, oh yeah, well, you've probably not hit rock bottom yet, carry on drinking. I said it the other day, nip it in the bud earlier, but then you don't know if it is a problem or not. So it's such a strange thing. It's just a strange one. But since I've stopped drinking for 7.5 years, I've never relapsed on alcohol, and I've been in what I take fantastic joy is being, if I'm in a bar or a pub and everyone's just pissed and being dickheads, or it's all a bit too much, that I just go, right, I'm off, see you later, and just fuck off. Because you can do that, and you don't have to apologise, you haven't done anything, you can just walk away from the situation. And it's very much like that. Some nights where you're thinking, oh, shall I go out and get pissed, or shall I not? And you think, actually, I'm going to have an early night. And you feel like you're going to miss out on loads. But at the time when you leave the situation and you get back into your bed and you go, oh, I'm glad I did that. Or it's like, I remember me and my mate in one of the bands, we'd get caught up in the party, do an afternoon gig, and everyone's like, oh, don't leave the festival. Yeah, go. And then we'd see the bandwagon drive off, and we'd still be left at the festival going, come on in, let's party. But unfortunately, we'd out-party the people who were meant to be the party animals, and then it would just be me and him on our own going, shit, we should have got in the van. Now we've got to work out how we're going to get back to London from wherever we were, and so that becomes a stressful thing. But the thing that is now is that, well, I'm just going to go. Because you don't need to hang around waiting for, because there's nothing, you know, if you want to party, it's like, way, but the days when you don't want to party, but other people do, you feel, oh God, or you're just hanging around or you want to go. But actually, in sobriety, you're just sort of, well, I'm going to go. Right, let's leave. I want to leave now. I'm going to leave now. I'm doing this. Or I'm going to go and sleep. I'm going to do... And so I think I probably unconsciously, I say unconsciously, I mean subconsciously, take myself out of situations where I probably would be tempted. But I don't take it for granted. That's one thing you can't get complacent with sobriety, because you can't do it, and that's with anything. You can't just go, oh yeah, it's fine now, I just don't drink. You have to work on it all the time. It's the same with cocaine, it's the same with smoking. I still see myself as a smoker. I was talking to my friend about it the other day. I still see myself as a smoker, go out with smokers, go outside with them, do that. I just don't smoke, but it's a funny one. You have to keep in check. You can't just go, oh yeah, I just do that. You have to check it out, what you're actually doing, and sobriety is something that you have to work on constantly, because all the variables are changing all the time, and especially in this job, on the road, you've just seen it. Saturday night was my night to have a lovely sleep, a nice early night and a nice sleep. It wasn't to be. I had to sleep on a cold bus. It's not all the dream, living the dream all the time, But anyway, so no is the answer to have I been close to relapse. But I think that's because I've taken myself away from the situation. I always thought that I probably would relapse when I was taking cocaine. So also, have you noticed every time I say the word cocaine, I do that? Something I noticed when I watched one of the videos back. I always do that. Weird. But anyway, I always thought that I would. It was, possibly I could relapse because everyone goes, oh, drinking and cocaine goes together, or drinking and smoking, do that. So no, I'm not, but I'm very aware that I work on my sobriety all the time to steer clear of those situations. So there's something that AA say, and I said it again about it's stay away from wet places. That can really help you, especially in the starts of sobriety. Don't just stop and think, oh yeah, well I can stop, that's fine. Because that's when you start going, oh yeah, I could just have one. I couldn't have one. If I had one sip of Guinness, or like that much Guinness from a pint glass, I would want to, well no, I would be able to warrant having a whole night out on the piss, and then that would be it, then I'd be done. So yeah, you have to, it's very important to keep a check on yourself and go, right, am I finding these situations hard? Why was that a bit harder? I'm a bit tired, what's this? So yeah, but thanks very much. I'll answer some of the other questions as well, but what I'm going to do now is, because I haven't slept in a bed since Thursday evening, I'm going to go and enjoy a night's sleep here at the Holiday Inn, but I've got to be up tomorrow morning because I am flying out to Denmark. So I'll catch up with you from another country. But enjoy your bank holiday weekend. And thanks to everyone who's following on YouTube now. Just putting it out there everywhere. So, all right, thanks very much. See you later. Bye-bye.